Hello, my name is Rohit Vadakatu, and today I'll be talking about the environmental impacts of extracting oil sands in Alberta, Canada. It's important to note that before I begin, that this presentation only looks at the environmental impacts of extracting and refining the oil sands in Canada and not the actual transportation to the United States through the Keystone Pipeline, which by itself does have various environmental impacts. So, to begin, what is the deal with tar sands? We have discussed in class that the formation of oil sands occurs when conventional oil migrates to the surface and in doing so comes in contact with rain, bacteria, and oxygen, causing it to decay. It essentially becomes a mixture of sand, water, clay, and bitumen. There are currently 1.7 trillion barrels of bitumen in the Alberta oil sands, with a 10% recovery estimation proven with current technology and prices. This is a comparison of the oil imported to the United States by year. The blue line represents the oil from Canada and the brown line represents the oil from Saudi Arabia. It's evident that after 2004, Canada overtook Saudi Arabia to become the largest supplier of oil to the United States. And in 2007, 44% of the oil production in Canada came from oil sands. So what does it take to extract the oil? To put simply, high temperature and high volumes of steam is injected into the ground, which soaks into the formation, decreasing the viscosity, and eventually bitumen can flow out. Some mines also use strip mining, which has proven to be better in some cases. So what are the environmental damages? Firstly, current water consumption is at 370 million cubic meters per year. A huge volume of this is collected from the neighboring Athabasca River. Mining requires a net volume of 2.4 barrels of freshwater to extract and refine 1 barrel of bitumen. This is almost double that of conventional oil extraction and refining. However, this is also just a rough estimate, as it's very difficult to quantify the actual value because of various oil sands and various refining techniques used. However, once used, very little of this water finds its way back to the natural water cycle due to the number of toxins present, and it usually ends up in trailing lakes or is injected deep underground, where it takes lots of years to return to normal. However, companies are being pressed to find new ways of reclaiming these trailing lakes faster and faster. Now for the greenhouse gas emission, it is currently the fastest growing source of carbon dioxide in Canada. And this is mostly because oil sands extraction and refining emits almost 3 times that of conventional greenhouse gas of conventional oil emissions. Also, extracting bitumen is going to be more efficient, which means that there is less carbon dioxide emitted per barrel, but an increase in overall supply of bitumen means that there is an increase in emissions. Another big problem is the land usage that goes into oil sand extraction, and a lot of it is also used into the trailing lakes, which are very hard hit, such as the one over here. So far, 700 square kilometers of land has been disturbed, and this is also in close proximity to the boreal forest, which takes up a large area of northern Canada. The mining industry claims that the boreal forest would help the land reclamation by colonizing the exhausted land, but the real question is, how long will this take? The reason so much land is required is that it takes around 2 tons of oil sand just to yield 1 barrel of oil. Now, moving on to the animal impacts, there has been a noticed increase in cancer rates among local residents. Studies are being conducted to see how closely these two factors are linked. It's also noticed that a local wildlife, especially moose, have been observed to have an increased level of arsenic in their system, as well as fish, which have been observed to have an increased level of mercury in their systems. Now for this good news, oil sand extraction still makes up less than 1% of greenhouse gas emissions, but this is anticipated to increase in the near future. There have also been methods to design to recycle and reuse some of the water. However, they haven't been fully implemented in all the mines. Another big step taken is by the Alberta policymakers in passing legislation that after mining is complete, full land reclamation has to be carried out. And finally, feasibility studies are being conducted to explore the possibility of capturing carbon dioxide released by the refining process, thereby reducing the overall greenhouse gas emissions from the refining process of oil sands. Finally, here are my references that I used to make this presentation. Thank you very much for your time.